Welcome back to the college lineup. I'm Eli.
And I'm Carson, and this is episode number 14. College football season, Eli, is officially gone and past us now, and it is time to dive into some college basketball. Are you
This
ready?
is a true statement. Yes, I'm ready.
All right, so starting off here, I think me and Eli want to hit on just a quick recap of our two favorite teams. If you are new here and this is your first episode of the college lineup, I'm an Alabama fan, and Eli is a fan of the Vanderbilt Commodores, the new, dare I say, hottest SEC basketball team, if not one of the hottest SEC basketball teams so far. So, Eli, why don't you give us your recap of your Vanderbilt Commodores this week and kind of where your thoughts are heading into the rest of the season?
Yeah. So we had a strong week coming off of, well, last week we got a win. We've won 3 in a row now. So coming off of losing 3 in a row after starting off 3-0 in SEC play and going back and going 3-3 in SEC play, we bounced back and got 3 straight wins. So we're now 6-3 in SEC play. But this last week we played Kentucky. We whooped that trick, man. We beat them 80-55. Wasn't even close the whole game. And it's not that Vanderbilt just played super well. I mean, they've had really good basketball so far this season, but it was a mixture of the good shooting from Vandy and the high octane offense of getting steals by Tyler Tanner, our great point guard that we've had this year. Didn't play as well last year, but he was a freshman last year, so he's really taken the SEC especially by storm right now. But him leading it away and just getting a bunch of steals, and he's averaging 17.8 points per game. But in the SEC, I dare to say it's even higher. I think it's about a little over 20 since getting into the SEC play, which is really big because you want to play your best basketball during conference play. So Kentucky, we won 80-55. Ole Miss was supposed to be a away game. Ended up being a home game because of all the ice and all that good stuff. Nashville got it really bad, but apparently they were able to get the lights turned on for the Kentucky and Ole Miss game. And Ole Miss must have not been able to. They really fought for it to be in Birmingham, which would have been very beneficial for Vanderbilt because it would have been a neutral site and counted as Ole Miss's away or home game. So then we would have got Ole Miss at home to close out the season with like 3 games left or something like that. So that makes us have to close out our season with 3 pretty tough away games, I think, now that they had to flip that to a home game. But for the time being, we did get a win by 3. Wish we could have won by more, but we're out our second point guard or our second guard right now, our second best one in Duke Miles. Hoping he can come back. Frankie Collins has been cleared, but there's been rumors that he's trying to medically redshirt so he can get paid for 1 more year because people don't think he's an NBA guard. Which would be unfortunate because right now we really need him to step up and play now that he's cleared, since we don't know quite how long Duke Miles is going to be out. He's not a whole season kind of out kind of guy right now at this point in time, but that is still kind of to TBD, to be determined. So overall, a great week, 2-0 start. Vandy's pretty lucky this week. They don't have to. They get a midweek game off, so they don't play until Saturday against Oklahoma. So overall, they are 19-3 now, third in the SEC at 6-3, with only Florida and Texas A&M ahead of them, with Florida being 7-2 and Texas A&M being 7-1. So overall, really great season so far, and that's really all I have to say. Do you have anything you want to add about Vandy?
I think it's just really impressive, the streak they've been on, coming off a couple bad losses there with that Florida loss. Obviously, that's a tough game to drop. Florida's a great team, as we'll get into with Alabama here in a minute. That Arkansas loss, that's rough.
Yep.
That's a rough game. So coming back from that and being able to win 3 quality games against, no standout SEC teams, but definitely teams that'll beat you on any given day.
Yep.
Teams that you need to take care of, and you have to show up your best and beat and perform well to be able to beat them. No free games right there. So very impressive by them. The game I'm looking at is February 10th for Vanderbilt, and that is at Auburn. I think that'll be a great test for this Vanderbilt team and really a good chance to see how they are at this point in the season.
I agree. Yep. Well, good stuff. That's really all we have for Vandy. We may predict their Oklahoma score before we close out the episode. But now, Carson, if you want to talk about your Alabama Crimson Tide and how their season's gone so far.
I don't even know if I want to talk about it. I'm just yeah. So Alabama really in a weird spot for basketball this year. So it's really hard to judge Alabama every year until you get to conference play, because we've said this in the past few podcasts, just because how tough their non-conference schedule is and how tough Alabama schedules non-conference games leading up into the new year. So leading up into the new year, it's hard to tell. But once we've gotten into conference play for a while now, and it's still up in the air for me, the true level this Alabama team can play at, because they're so up and down. I mean, this past week we saw a great win versus Missouri, 90-64. Played pretty solid basketball, one of the best games we've played in a while. That's coming off a really pitiful loss to Tennessee. We only scored 73 points, which for a Nate Oates offense is just really unheard of. Yeah, it really is. And then we're recording this on Monday, February 2nd. So yesterday on Sunday, Alabama just got it handed to him by Florida. And this is probably one of the worst losses I've seen from Alabama. Definitely this year, maybe even a little bit into last year. I mean, it was really just one of those where you could have turned off the game 5 minutes into the second half, and you would have been just fine. You wouldn't have missed anything. First half was back and forth. Florida had a great run towards about 5 minute left mark in the first half. And then it was really just never going to recover from that. So I really don't know what to judge this team on, other than we have a string of subpar performances, and then we have a couple of really, really high-level performing games from this team. Do I think there's a little bit of external factors maybe kind of getting in the way of some team chemistry? Absolutely. With this whole Bediako situation, I think as we record this on February 2nd, I believe his hearing is February 6th, so later this week.
Because if it doesn't get postponed again.
No, literally. We had if you're unfamiliar with the situation, basically there's a player named Charles Bediako for Alabama, and he's been playing in the G League for the past couple of years. He played on Alabama in 2023 was his last time he played for Alabama. He had a judge who is a Tuscaloosa judge. He is a donor to Alabama, signed a temporary restraining order allowing him to play. This past week, NCAA asked the judge to recuse himself from the case to be more fair. So now it is assigned to a new judge going against the NCAA for his eligibility to play college basketball at Alabama. Now, he is enrolled in classes. He is degree seeking. He did not graduate from Alabama. So legally, the loophole he is using to play right now at Alabama is technically legal. Now, there's been a lot of speculation of if it's ethical or if it's right to do. Some people complain that he's taken a roster spot. Alabama actually had a roster spot open. So that, I would say, gets a pass from me. But I think the whole situation just kind of sheds a negative light on where college athletics is as a whole. And so with that, I do think that is kind of affecting this Alabama team. I think it's affecting the team chemistry, especially since he's been starting. It's not like he's just coming in, being a bench player, and he's just kind of, getting 5 to 10 minutes a game. No, in this Florida game, he got 24 minutes, and he was a starter. And in those 24 minutes, he shot 50% field goal percentage and only had 6 points there. So not his best game overall. Aiden Holloway had a great game with 19 points in 27 minutes. It's good to see him. I know he's been kind of out a little bit, missing some games. I know the Vanderbilt game, he was out. There's been some other games where he's not played in. That's a big piece for Alabama that they need to get rolling in order to have success in the later half of conference play and later on into postseason play. So for me, I'm not saying it's all an external factor problem, but you can tell the team is not clicking the way it should and the way that level of talent should be playing at this point in the season. So really looking to Nate Oates to right the ship here. I'm hoping he can find the missing piece, or he can find just a way to really pull the best talent out of his players, because that's what good coaches do. So I really like Nate Oates as a whole. Side note, I think he's an amazing coach, and I think he's really going to be able to pull the best out of these Alabama players. So, Eli, you got any comments on that?
Yeah, just to go back to the whole Bediako situation, if it was me personally and I was able to do that, I would. If I was a struggling G League player who may or may not get some NBA
Absolutely.
reps, if especially I don't know if Alabama is or not, but especially if Alabama promises me a little bit of money, even if it's I don't know, these people are getting paid outrageous now, so even if it was like $30,000 to $50,000, I'd be like, hey, sign me up. I come and play 3-4 games or until they revoke my suspension or whatever they called that, until they revoke that, then I would be like, yeah. I mean, ethically, I don't. You can fight back and forth mumbo jumbo about if it's ethically correct, but it's like he's doing what's best for him and more than likely for his family as well. So I don't think you can really spite him in that for taking advantage of something that is legal. Now, should it be able to happen? No, like they shouldn't allow players to come back from the G League. But if there was an opportunity to do that, even like we said, even if it's just for 3 or 4 games, I mean, why not? Especially now in the NIL era where you can make a couple thousand, $10,000-$20,000 a game just to come back and play for a little while. Even if the ruling ends up ruling like, hey, you've been out of college for 2 years and you've played the G League, you don't need to play college basketball with a bunch of 18 or 19 to 23-year-olds, But, too, I think it'd also be different if he came in there and was scoring like 30 points a game. I mean, he had 6 points, so he's making a difference, and I'm sure he's helping Alabama out to a certain extent, but it's also not like he's in there like he played in the NBA and he's coming back. He was in the G League and may or may not get a little bit of playing time in the NBA at some point. So you can go back and forth with that all you want, and I'm sure people, there's people out there that highly disagree with it. I know, Tennessee fans weren't happy. They ended up winning anyway, so there's not much to complain about. And if he's okay to face the flack of being made fun of for coming back from the G League, then, hey, be my guest. I'd probably do the same thing, honestly.
Yeah. I know the Florida fans started a G League dropout chant yesterday
I did
during
see
the
that.
game, so
I saw that.
that was pretty brutal to hear. I know he probably wasn't the biggest fan of it. Might have contributed to why he didn't do much in the game. Not really sure there. What's kind of painful to look at is our next 2 games. So in 2 days, Bama plays Texas A&M, who I believe, yes, they are the top of the SEC right now at 7-1. Bucky Ball is alive and well in Aggie land, so that's going to be a good test of this Alabama team. And then 3 days later, we're going to the jungle on the plains at Auburn. Iron Bowl of basketball on ESPN2. Man, this is going to be a big week for Alabama basketball. It really is. It's going to be a true test to see where they're at. I know after that, we've got a couple lighter games at Ole Miss and South Carolina, but this Bama team has proven that they really don't show up every game like they should. So I don't want to say any games are given at this point, but 2 big games this week. Be fun to break down next week on the podcast.
Yeah, and 2, I just want to talk about their record for a second because I got on the Bediako thing, but I do want to give my opinion. Being 4-4 in the SEC isn't awful. You can still make a season out of it. And 2, you also got to look back at who they've played in the non-conference, like you said. I mean, they only ended up winning 2 of the ranked games they played, which is St. John's, which was 8 at St. John's, and they're ranked 5. Or according to ESPN, I don't know if that's 5 when they were, if they're 5 now. But they did go into St. John's and win that game, and then they also beat Illinois. But if you look at that, their first 5 games, 4 of them were top 15 ranked opponents, and they lost to Gonzaga and Purdue and came out 500 by beating St. John's and Illinois. So you can't really, obviously in a perfect world, you'd want them to go 4-0 and be really on the top of the world there. But at the same time, I mean, 500 against top 15 teams is not bad at all. And, Vandy's 19-3, but we kind of had a little bit more of a cakewalk. Now, obviously, we played UCF, didn't know how good they were going to be. They've ended up being pretty good. They've lost to some really good teams. But at the same time, you got to look at that. Now, we did beat Alabama, so you can, I guess, put that into play. But at the same time, I mean, you look at this schedule. If Vandy would have had this schedule, there's no telling if they would be 19-3 still right now, or if they'd be more like 14-7, like Alabama. So, can't really look at the record too much there. And 500 in the SEC up to this point through 8 games is not awful. Still have a little bit of time, or plenty of time to bounce back here. I still got plenty of games left in the SEC, but versus Texas A&M, the only plus there is that it's at home, and then it would look great if y'all could pull that out. Don't know if y'all are going to be able to, but like you said, those two, that and at Auburn, are going to really test Alabama, because like you said, you don't want to say that any of these games are easy games, because with Alabama, they could kill a team, or they could get beat by 30. So no telling there, but for the most part, I would say they've had a productive season. They just kind of need to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 3 of those 4 SEC losses have been within 6 points.
Yeah.
I mean, Vandy 6 points, Texas 4, and then Tennessee 6. So, I mean, a couple of those games, really, I mean, they were all down to the last 5 minutes of the game. Alabama just couldn't have things go their way and couldn't pull it out. That Florida game is really the only game that I look at and I'm like, man, that game really got away from us, and we just didn't show up at all. So, it'll be interesting to see what Alabama team shows up this week. Big week for Alabama basketball. And like I said, it'll be fun to break down next week on the podcast.
Welcome back to the Weekly Hunt.
Welcome back to the Weekly Hunt. If you do not know what this segment is, this is where me and Eli, as alumni of the University of North Alabama, break down the current stats, schedule, and highlights of UNA athletics. Right now, we are in the middle of basketball season, so we will jump right into UNA's basketball teams, men and women's, and kind of give you a mid-conference play update as we enter the first week of February here. Eli, let's start with the men's team. So right now, they are sitting at 10-10. Wait, I just read the women's stat. My fault, 7-13.
I was about to say.
Yep, I had the women's
Don't think
pulled
we're
up.
10-10.
My fault, 7-13 overall, and 12th in the ASUN. Eli, what are your thoughts?
Well, I will start out by saying I think we got our predictions correct. Or did we say we were going to win both of them? I can't remember.
No, I think we got them.
I think for some reason we said we'd probably lose to FCGU, or FGCU.
Well,
Sorry.
that one game got canceled with the ice. So that game kind of...
Yeah, that's true.
It was, that Saturday after last week.
Yeah.
It got canceled due to some ice storms here in the Shoals area.
Well, nonetheless, we did beat Stetson, which they beat us the first time at home, so we returned the favor and beat them at home, at their home. So after dropping 4 straight conference games, we finally got our second win in the conference.
Talk to me.
So we're probably not going to win another conference game and then go into the ASUN and win the ASUN and make it to the NCAA tournament. That's just how it's going to work.
Is that your official prediction?
No.
No, okay.
No, we'll probably slip away and upset some teams, but then get mollywopped in the ASUN tournament. I don't know. It's frustrating because we definitely have the players. You can't sit here and tell me that we don't have the players for this. It's just, and it's like, yeah, we're missing Jakari Lane, and Daniel Ortiz and all those good guys, Tay Fields, really made a difference. But it's like we have the guys. Like Dallas Howell's had some pretty good games here recently. Dante Bacchus has really showed out. Kanan Jefferson's had good games. Patton's had some good games. So I mean, it's just Williams. He's just always on the boards. So I mean, we have the players. We have the chess pieces. It's just we're trying to play checkers in a chess match.
I like that.
I mean, that's really what it is.
Come on.
I mean, that's what it is. We're trying to play checkers with our chess pieces. It's just not working out really good. So hoping we can turn it around again, like last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever we last had this. We've been a little busy, but we've won one game, since then. So we haven't missed much, but at the same time, and to finish my thought, like last time we had the podcast, it's just like, still don't really know where we're at. Looking like we're gonna stay comfortable at the last spot in the ASUN, but we do have a chance to turn it around. Central Arkansas is third in the ASUN, and Austin P is first in the ASUN. And we have those two games, and they're both away coming up this week. So if we can beat those guys, then all of a sudden it's like, is UNA coming around the corner and going to make something out of this season? Who knows? But if we got to win at least one of those. I don't know if we can, but if we lose both of those and we're 2-9, going to play West Georgia, surely we could beat West Georgia. Who knows? They're up there. They're 4-6 in the conference, so you never know. But I think either Central Arkansas, third team in the ASUN, or Austin P, first team in the ASUN, I think we got to win one of those games this week. I don't know if we will or not again, but I hope we do, and I think we can. Like I said, we have the pieces to the puzzle. We just can't make the pieces fit. So, Carson, what do you think?
I completely agree with everything you just said. We have pieces. We have great pieces. Yeah. We have pieces that at the beginning of the season they said, man, UNA is going to be playing some chess. And I like the way you said it. Yeah. We're playing checkers with chess pieces. We shouldn't be playing checkers. We should be playing chess. We're good enough to play chess. Yeah. These players we have so much talent. And you can't tell me our talent level is bottom of the ASUN. No, it's just not. And so we have 9 conference games left. We're currently 2-7, so we are halfway through conference play. It's got to get better. I mean, just it's got to get so much better. There's got to be more to this season than what we've seen so far. And what's frustrating for me is we talked about Alabama losing 3 SEC games by 6 points or less. These UNA games are not even close.
Yeah,
they're not even close.
Yep.
North Florida, one of them, a couple weeks ago, this was a home game, by the way. We scored 91 points, which is one of the highest amount of point totals we've had all year, and we let up 105 and lost at home. So after that, we got beat by Jacksonville by 22 points. Then we got beat by Queens by 25. These games, I feel like we're just getting outplayed at every level. And it's very frustrating, like you said, with the amount of talent that we have. Now, we did beat Stetson. I guess it was 2 days ago now? Yeah. 2-3 days ago now?
Yeah.
That's what we needed because now this road stretch we're going on is pretty brutal this week with Central Arkansas and at Austin P. Austin P is currently leading the conference at 9-1. And if you are unfamiliar with UNA basketball, that is the unofficial, I guess, rival, you could say, of UNA.
Definitely a rivalry.
Yeah,
unofficial or official, it's definitely a rivalry, especially how the past 2 seasons have really played out.
So there's been some clashes the past 2 years. We'll just leave it at there's been a certain Austin P head basketball coach that refused to shake our hands last year after we beat them at home.
Don't want to name names, but...
Yeah. If you ever are curious, Google Austin P stolen valor, and it'll pull up the picture there. So
I do want to say too, averaging 70.8 points per game in this day and age, you can't win a basketball game like that. We're 356th in the nation, and you think, maybe we could rebound a little bit because we have Williams, we got Bacchus, we got Dallas Howell, we got the big guys. Yeah, we're averaging around 33.5 rebounds per game, which is 364th in the nation. And also we're allowing 77.7 points a game. So when you're allowing almost 8 points more points per game than you're scoring, it's impossible to win statistically with those statistics if we scored 70 points a game because our defense would just let up. And our assists per game, maybe we need to pass the ball around a little bit more. I think that's what we're getting at here. Maybe if they're running a 2-3 or something like that, maybe we pass it around the horn a little bit. But there's 10.4 assists per game, which is tied for 528th in the nation. None of these statistics, you think most basketball teams have one that's pretty decent, at least in the top 100, 150. Yeah, UNA has nothing in the top 350. Yeah, sorry, that was hard to get out apparently, but we have nothing in the top 350. And I don't know, I think we have great coaches. I just don't know. Is it the discipline on our team? I don't know what it is. I can't sit here and be like, hey, Carson, I know exactly what it is, and I know why we're not winning these games. Because like we said, we have the players, we have these guys. What's going on here? We were ASUN championship contention last year, where we almost beat Lipscomb at Lipscomb. That was a really fun game, even though we lost. But it's just frustrating because it's like, as a fan, what do you expect? It's like, oh, I expect to score some points, make it fun. It's like, well, I turn on the game and just get frustrated and have to turn it right back off and look at the stats later. That's what it's gotten to right now. So again, I don't think it's the coaching, and I don't think it's the lack of players. The only other thing I could think of is our discipline on the court is just not what it needs to be.
Completely agree. So, UNA, you have 9 conference games left. What do? You go out and you perform like the season is on the line, because if you don't figure it out in the next 9 games, you're going to be a first-round bounce out of the ASUN tournament, and your season will be done. So, it's time to pull up your basketball shorts and time to figure something out.
Yeah.
Not much time left. Time's running out. End of the season's closing on us quicker than we think.
Don't have to act like the season. Don't have to act like the season's on the line. At this point, it is on the line.
Yep. And so maybe that's what they need: a little bit of pressure, a little bit of a backstop to hit, and just launch forward. And let's go. I think a big win. I mean, even winning one of these Central Arkansas or Austin Peay games is huge this week.
Yep.
For momentum, for morale. You go back, you play 2 home games against West Georgia and Eastern Kentucky, an Eastern Kentucky team who you've already seen, and you lost by 8 at Eastern Kentucky. Mm-hmm. So I think that a big win at either one of those games will really springboard you into a couple wins here. We have 3 home games after that. Our Austin Peay game this Saturday. So I look for at least be competitive there.
Yep.
Come back home, and you've got to win those 3 home games.
Yep.
Or at least 2 out of the 3
yep.
to have a shot. So with that, let's move on to the women's team and hit on them real quick. They are 10-10 on this season, and they are 5-4 in the ASUN conference right now. They are sitting right at middle of the pack at 5-4. So recently, they are coming off a win versus Florida Gulf Coast. So this women's team, Eli, really impressive lately. They lost their first 3 conference games of the year in a really rough, about 5 or 6 game loss stretch right there, coming out of non-conference play into ASUN play. And lately, they've turned a new leaf here. About 5 conference games in a row, dropped a close game to Stetson by 4, and then came back and win versus Florida Gulf Coast. They will also play Austin Peay at home this week on Wednesday, February 4th, and they will be going to Queens this Saturday. Eli, any thoughts on this women's team?
Yeah, I mean, after struggling at the start, it looks like they dropped their first 3 ASUN games. They then went on and won 4 straight and lost against Stetson last week, and then finished out the week beating Florida Gulf Coast. So now all of a sudden, the last 6 games, you're 5-6, and you're right there in the middle of the pack at the ASUN, where that's like not best case scenario. Obviously, you want to be Eastern Kentucky here and be 10-0 in ASUN, but that's not the case. But being middle of the pack, the middle of this pack at halfway through the season or so now, not bad at all, especially being 10-10 on the season, being right at 500. Keep winning, and you'll see that, obviously, that win column increase, and the amount of ASUN wins also increase. So I think they've played really well. They have a couple of players that have just really gone off lately. I know Carson talked about the one lady that played super well a couple games ago, 2 weeks ago or whenever that was. So definitely got some people that can come out and perform. Just hope we keep seeing this, because if we keep winning 5 of the next 6 again, well, then all of a sudden now we're 15-11, and we're right back up either still middle or making our way up in the ASUN. So this is pretty almost with the loss to Stetson, the past 6 games you've played almost picture perfect. I don't see why you would change anything now, especially how the season started. So don't have much to say there. I think the women are looking really good, and I think that they just need to keep doing what they're doing right now.
Yep. I mean, you're only in year 2 of Coach Whitaker here in Florence too, and so last year probably wasn't. It was about a mediocre year. You know, they were probably middle to bottom half of the ASUN there. Kind of started to turn the corner a little bit some games, but overall, you're still this year in a second year coach scenario. But I think this year is a really, really, really great giant step forward. They look competitive. They look like they know kind of how the team is fitting together, and you're starting to see some different pieces play together very, very well. So overall, I think if you were to sum up this UNA women's basketball team into one word, it'd be improvement. I mean, from last year to this year, baby steps forward. But, I mean, that's what you're going to have to do when you come into a new program like this. You're going to have to get out, and you're going to have to find players that fit your play style and how you like to run a program. And I think it's all starting to come together very nicely here for Coach Whitaker's team. So, overall, I like this UNA women's team a lot this year. I think right at middle of the pack is probably where I see this team kind of sticking over the next couple of weeks, but I definitely look for them to get some big wins here. I know they still play Eastern Kentucky, the number 1 team in the ASUN right now. Austin P later this week is kind of another 5-5 middle of the pack ASUN team like UNA is. So I look for this team to get a couple more great conference wins and go into the ASUN tournament being kind of a slept-on team and could possibly make a little bit of a tournament run.
Welcome back to my second favorite segment besides the weekly hunt, rapid fire.
All right, Eli, you ready to hit these games?
I'm ready.
All right, coming at you quick. We have this Friday. We have number 3 UConn at number 22 St. John's.
I think UConn's got it all the way. UConn's played very well. St. John's has had a pretty good season so far. A little subpar, honestly, from how they've played in past seasons. They typically stay pretty highly ranked most way through the season. So, but I think UConn's going to come out with this one.
I hate Dan Hurley, so I'm just going to take St. John's out of spite for him. I really just don't like him. So give me St. John's. It's also at St. John's. So, I mean, Bama played there. It was a tough environment. So I like St. John's. Okay. Saturday also, moving to Saturday, we have the Iron Bowl of basketball. Alabama going down to the plains in the jungle at Auburn. Eli, who you got?
Give me Alabama.
Oh, I did not think you were going to take Alabama.
I don't know.
Really did.
Yeah, I don't. Obviously, this is rapid fire, so I don't have to give much of an explanation anyway. But both teams have been so wishy-washy. I think Alabama's going to put it together. I think Bediako is going to get one more game, one or two more games. I guess 2 more because they still got one more game this week. I think against Texas A&M. So yeah, give me Alabama here. I think they're going to put it together and beat Auburn. Alabama.
Yeah, I like Alabama too. I'm not picking Auburn. I hate Auburn. So, yeah, go ahead and just give me Alabama there. So, moving on, also Saturday, Oklahoma at your Vanderbilt Commodores. Eli, I have a good feeling, but who you picking?
I'm going Vanderbilt.
Shocking pick from
Give me the Vanderbilt Commodores anchor down. Just because Oklahoma has won 1 game this whole conference season, that we've played 9 games. Pretty much halfway through the SEC conference schedule. Oklahoma's 1-8. The Vanderbilt Commodores are 6-3, 19-3 overall. I think Vandy's going to take this one easily.
Also going Vandy. I like Vandy big in this game. Big. Whatever the spread is, I like to take it. Take the over on Vandy all day. Next game, Oregon at number 12, Purdue. Who you got?
Is it at Purdue or Oregon?
At Purdue.
At Purdue. Give me Purdue. If it's at Oregon, I think Oregon pulls the upset, but not today, not tomorrow, and not this week. I'm taking Purdue.
I'm also taking Purdue. Give me the Boilermakers here.
There you go, buddy.
Yep. I got it. Don't worry about it, big guy. Don't worry about it. Oregon's been on the struggle bus as of late. I mean, it's embarrassing. So, yeah. Purdue, big. Also like Purdue, big. Whatever the spread is, take Purdue, baby. We're not responsible for any bets or money you've lost this weekend. So, Just
so
quick
probably
disclaimer.
don't take Carson's bets.
I mean, you can if you want to.
I mean, maybe you might
It's
become
just
a
not my
rich
fault.
man. But if you do, the college lineup gets 10% royalty.
Yeah.
So whatever you make on that bet, we get 10%. If you lose it, we don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, just like a slight advisory fee for you there.
Right.
Anyway, Purdue, big. I like Purdue. Last game on the rapid fire picks for this week. Utah at 11 ranked Kansas.
Give me Kansas. Kansas has been too good this year. I like Kansas. I like their Jayhawks. I like their logo. That's Kansas looks good. They're always typically pretty good. Have not proven to be wrong with Kansas yet. So I don't know if we've even picked Kansas yet. But hey, haven't proven me wrong yet. So I think I'm going to go Kansas. I think they're going to win the game.
I'm also going to go Kansas here. When you live in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, you got to have something to look forward to. And I think they're just looking forward to playing Utah this weekend. So give me Kansas.
There you go. No upsets this week, it doesn't sound like.
Nope, no upsets. I do have St. John's beating UConn. I mean, that'd be the big upset this week.
Yeah, technically an upset.
Overall, I think we're playing a pretty safe week this week. We'll see if it pans out. I feel like basketball never pans out the way we want it to.
Yeah, nope, not really. I have a feeling that there will be another upset, whether it be the St. John's or it be Oregon. Who knows?
As long as it's not Auburn, I really don't care. Honestly, the way Alabama's played, Alabama might be the underdog going.
Hope it's not Oklahoma either. That would be unfortunate.
Yeah, that'd be sad to talk about next week on the recap. But
be very sad.
With that, I will get this Instagram graphic up. If you want to check out our rapid fire picks on social media, it will be on Instagram at the college lineup. Eli, as always, it's been a pleasure. This has been episode 14 of the college lineup.